Hello.
Africa News. The news.
The final death.
Inamoruna ya fina. Naripish.
Ajapili akweva, udakefua kamwaji. Take comment. Amoro kuchia fina shani. Ifina mumuntu ni weti ya muntu no chamu. Mwachara ndako vimbi walitapaza na mahero menshi.
Mama charity.
Ima Max mwa kurima mwenjo atamushwe fonde anda ponga anda tamoruna ya fina. Ninkwate chirifumu.
Polo imo mwasa.
Baoro jinombefe ya leta.
Nombe chirifumu ene njudiremu.
Imperfection pia. Ndasendera mu TV. Ndasendera mu TV ngateje.
Nyamachanga.
Mukwana.
Ngefi.
Wadi tamlemon. Shumulu mtaishwa karoba. Taishwa bari karoba.
Waomba matunda kuyampota madiringi kokwa tupotenga mama kusuku byaka.
Wirankonka manu. Shafyara no berembu. Shafyara
no. Muburenga mwamba
guys. Nyara mubunga.
Fate fomora mba. Mamelekeni ndende.
Tela winduka. Upelele na popeni wa mfai.
So balaba omebarefu afe bale nwafe nakunchitoveya. Ero empia basendere shafu shamawuri ya mtauni yaraba secha.
Wera na empia.
Impia oko shina shingira. So mairo. Ino inenshita so. Shinipona maira mba.
What you need to know about prostate-specific antigen tests, commonly known as PSA test. So PSA test is a simple blood test that is used primarily to screen for prostate cancer and other prostate-associated conditions.
Men should begin their regular checkups at age 55, but those at a high risk of prostate cancer are encouraged to begin as early as 40.
Care Diagnostics Laboratories is the best facility offering this test. At-risk groups include family history or genetic history, age, obesity, as well as men of Black ethnicity.
Monitoring PSA trends helps your healthcare provider evaluate your prostate health as well as make informed decisions about further diagnostic tests and treatment. For more information about PSA tests, visit True Care Diagnostics Laboratories at plot number 82 Jomo Kenyatta Avenue in Muflira, or you can call us or WhatsApp us on the number 0966 677897. True Care Diagnostics Laboratories, true to your health.
Hey, Ben Navi here. Glad you could join me on the Pastime Show.
You know what, Mr. Dan, I'm actually getting the temptation to get a picture with one of these dogs. But then, I'm just wondering, which one is the safest dog to get a picture with?
And sometimes it becomes difficult to deal with both of them at the same time.
Yeah, it was only the only one that survived.
Such a sad story. But anyway, thank you so much, baby, for telling Ben's story, and we greatly appreciate you for that. I know that was fun.
Taurara. Inamoro na Afina. Naripish.
Achapira kweva, udakefuaka mwanji. Take comment. Amolo kuchia Afina shani. Ifina mumuntu ni weti ya muntu no chamu. Mwachara ndako vimbi walitapazana mairo menshi.
Wamuna Charity.
Ima Max mwa kurima mwenjo atamwisho fonde anda ponga anda tamoro na Afina. Ninkwate chilifumu.
Polo polo imo mwasa.
Baoro jinombefo ya ledi.
Nombe chilifumu ene njudi demu.
Imperfection sempia. Ndasandira motizi. Ndasandira motizi ngataishi.
Nyamachanga. Ngefi.
Wadi tamlemon.
Shumulu no taishwa karoba. Taishwa bari karoba.
Waomba matunda kuyampota madiringi kokwa tipotenga mama kusku biaka.
Wirankonka manu. Shafyara no berembu. Shafyara no.
Muburenga mwamba ini
guys. Nyara mubunga.
Fate fo mwana mba. Mamele keni ndende.
Ela winduka. Upelele na popeni wa mfai.
So balaba umebarefu afe bale nwafe na kunchitoveya. Ero mpia basendere shafu lishamaule ya mtauni yara basecha.
Wera na mpia.
Impia uko shina shingira. So mairo. Ine nchita so. Chinimpona maira mba.
Risky stunts at Vic Falls. I agree. This is on the front page, and you can actually continue.
Read that story again.
Avoid risky stunts at the Vic Falls.
I have seen some very risky stunts.
Exactly.
Have you seen? Is it the Devil's Pool?
Exactly.
I don't think I'll go there.
And then you see people getting on the edge of that pool, trying to get all these, aesthetically pleasing photos at the end of the day. But
anything is possible right there.
People tend to get excited. I mean, it's a big pool.
Firstly, I don't like heights. It's so high. Secondly, there's just plenty of water. Thirdly, it's at the edge of everything.
I don't.
Why would you want to go to that part of the water?
I can't even swim. Why would that? It's fun, amazing. So, guys, let's
try to avoid that.
Mafken FM Radio Limited, Mafken FM, takes no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the people on this program. Statements and opinions issued and aired on this radio station are not the beliefs or views of Mafken FM. Callers are reminded to be civil as they contribute on this program. Do not use vulgar language, do not promote hate speech, do not promote tribalism or xenophobia. Also, be reminded that all contributions are recorded, and these recordings could be used in any criminal proceeding for those violating the laws of the land.
What you need to know about prostate-specific antigen tests, commonly known as PSA test. So PSA test is a simple blood test that is used primarily to screen for prostate cancer and other prostate-associated conditions.
Men should begin their regular checkups at age 55, but those at a high risk of prostate cancer are encouraged to begin as early as 40.
Care Diagnostics Laboratories is the best facility offering this test. At-risk groups include family history or genetic history, age, obesity, as well as men of Black ethnicity.
Monitoring PSA trends helps your healthcare provider evaluate your prostate health as well as make informed decisions about further diagnostic tests and treatment. For more information about PSA tests, visit True Care Diagnostics Laboratories at plot number 82 Jomo Kenyatta Avenue in Muflira, or you can call us or WhatsApp us on the number 0966 677897. True Care Diagnostics Laboratories, true to your health.
Nenze wakufala, teta sakuhani, unanigwela la mutima unanikwila lelo nisekelelo
Baby yo senganiliko oh smiles kondecha mene oh yeah chimene pasa chimwemwene oh baby yo senganiliko
I never thought the truth could come out.
Mafken FM Radio Limited, Mafken FM, takes no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the people on this program. Statements and opinions issued and aired on this radio station are not the beliefs or views of Mafken FM. Callers are reminded to be civil as they contribute on this program. Do not use vulgar language, do not promote hate speech, do not promote tribalism or xenophobia. Also, be reminded that all contributions are recorded, and these recordings could be used in any criminal proceeding for those violating the laws of the land.
Good evening, our viewers. Today on Democracy Today, we want to discuss issues that are of national importance. And tonight, in this studio, I'm hosting a man that is really going to help me discuss certain issues concerning his ward. And today we're talking about development, transparency, and accountability. And I'm sure he's going to really talk about them in depth. And tonight with me, I'm hosting a very good man who I understand is going to make us understand certain things that we don't know about your ward. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening, viewers, and thank you so very much to be given this wonderful time, especially to address the nation and the community at large. My name is Angel Msakula. I happen to be the area councillor in Bufuke Ward. Bufuke Ward is actually in Kankoyo constituency, and it happens to be the new ward. So I happen to be the first councillor to man the new ward called the Bufuke Ward, and actually I'm an independent.
Okay.
Sure.
Just to quick start this program, I want to understand that you are new in that position, right?
Sure.
And it's a new ward. Run me through what have you done as a councillor in that ward? Ever since you were voted in, what have you done as a councillor?
So far, so good. Very interesting question. We've done a lot. We've done a lot, especially through CDF community projects. And I'm a person who believes to say, it's not about me, what have I done, what we have done. Because government works, the shop floor of governance, the recognition is WDCs.
Yes.
Then the councillor and the community extendedly. So we've done it together. What have we done so far? When I took over office in 2021, I'd found the community was faced with a challenge of water crisis in the ward.
Okay.
So as a listening councillor, the code engagement meeting through the WDC, where we had given the people the platform under of course the decentralization policies that have been put in place by the new Dawn government.
Okay.
So the people prioritized to say we need to address the challenge of water. So what did we do? we resorted into, doing the borehole in respective sections.
Okay.
Yeah, so to start with, we had done a solar-powered borehole at the school, Butondo Primary School, basing on the campaign promise, of course, because the children used to take containers with water while they were going to school. So we first of all did one at Butondo Primary, and then secondary we did also a solar-powered at the health institution, which is a government clinic. We went further in the respective communities. That is Section C, we've done one. There is a solar-powered borehole there that is meant to sustain the people, and the people are benefiting. We also did the hand pump in Section F, which is also quite beneficial to the people. And we also have done another one as we go Section C down in Matelo. We've also done another solar-powered borehole. As that is not enough, we've done a lot in compliance with what the government said, to say no child should remain seated on the ground. So as a councillor, either a councillor of that ward, I had to comply. How did I comply? We first gave out 85 desks, of course, under CDF community projects.
All right.
We had to distribute 85 desks to Tondo Primary. That was in 2022 we gave out, and we also worked on the damaged desks.
Okay.
The very same year, which was 2022, and the second quarter funding also gave out to Tondo Primary 65 desks, meaning that we had remained with a backlog because. Ideally, when we had to rehearse with the school administration, they gave us that we need about 360 desks so that every child is catered for. So I'm sure we are on track. We are moving in the right direction. And this time, when that was yesterday when I went to check on the proceedings of the people that are capturing the NRC, I had to find everyone was sitting on the desk, which I was very pleased to say we have complied in line to what the president has demanded.
I love what you've brought in, issues pertaining what the president had made mention to say no child should sit on the floor. I love what you've brought in. But would you say that you have done as expected what the people you promised the people?
Thank you so very much. You see, Francis, people are too expectant. Prince. Sorry. You see, Prince, people are too expectant. But what you should, distinguish and understand is you, first of all, you have to understand the law of a councillor. What is the law of a councillor? A councillor, the supreme law that, governs the councillor is he oversees all the happenings in his ward. Unfortunately, councillors are not considered. They are treated, the job of a councillor is, treated as part-time job, which must be a full-time job. My appeal, taking advantage of this, platform, is that my appeal to the president that in future, through the Minister of Local Government, councillors should just say full-time, because councillors are just too much involved, in too many activities, be it emergencies that are coming in the ward. It's the area councillor. When the member of parliament is out, the area councillor is meant to do a lot. So
I believe you're the councillor, right?
Sure.
So where on the ground has it to say that most of the WDCs are choosing people based on relation or based on the fact that they will gain something from those projects? Can you please really elaborate more on that?
Thank you so very much. Prince, I'm coming from the background in Kankoyo constituency, where Kankoyo is sitting on 9 wards. So meaning that we have different challenges. So as you have put it, it can be right or it can be wrong in a way. So to my ward, I will say there are genuine complaints whereby, there were issues to do with grant selection, grant empowerment to say, and also the selection criteria in regard to cash for work.
Yes.
Yes, people tend to, complain because most of the powers have been given to the WDCs, where the councillor is an ex-official. But unfortunately, it has gone political in a way. I will be frank with you.
All right.
It has gone political. You others are trying to politicize.
How has it gone political?
How has it gone political is, I will be honest with you. In as much as I have appreciated the new Dawn government today with the president, the president is very much clear. He has set, groundworks clearly to say we are not supposed to support cadarism. But Kadarism is being supported. We are seeing that where, political party A tend to, try to champion, even, the way things are supposed to, in the selection criteria in regard to cash for work. But that should not be the case. This is a Zambia that we have to treasure. We only have one Zambia, one nation. And our founding fathers and leaders labored for the country, not to disunite the people in the country. So my appeal to the WDCs out there and countrywide is that we are not supposed to, politicize the government-driven programs. Yeah. We are supposed to work in justice and work in support work hand in hand with the councillors, members of parliament. We are supposed to work together regardless of the political affiliation and backgrounds where we are coming from.
Earlier on, when we were just sitting, you and I, before we came on set, you talked about the MP being given too much power. You said too much power has been given too much to the member of parliament. Can you really share that?
Okay, what I meant, Prince, was that the member of parliament, I feel, and I make an appeal to the minister of local government that in future we should make amendments. How do we do this, minister, is that I appeal that you call for an indaba where you do some samples of some councillors in respective of the district where you are coming from to appreciate that's the challenges that we are facing in regard to CDF. Yeah. So let me talk about the CDF structure itself. How it's structured. The CDF, I think the MP has been given much powers, which must not happen. Okay. Yeah, the member of parliament nominates a lot of people to sit on the CDFC committee. Okay. Regardless of any qualification. Okay. Okay. No qualification.
So in your explanation, are you trying to say members of parliament are really hindering your progress in your constituencies?
Not necessarily that. Okay. What I mean is that we need to have equality and equity and equality. Okay. Yeah. Why I say so? I wish maybe in future, if maybe the amendment can be made. Like I was saying, Kanko is sitting on 9 wands. If all the members, the councillors in coming from, Kanko constituents can have, can be mandated by law to be making decision where they see how CDF fund is, distributed. There we will promote equity and equality. Okay. Why? Because everyone will have a say to say, but how come you have channeled a lot of money to Fukewad? You see? Everyone will have justification.
Are you trying to tell me right now to say that money is not equally shared?
Money is not equally shared. I will say so, like, let me just do a sample. Because, please, going by the submission of projects, like I will cite an example. Yeah. Like when I was sitting on CDF committee, because I'm speaking from experience. Yeah. Yeah, I was sitting on CDF committee where at some point in time we had our colleagues from Luansobe, submitted a project where we were supposed to do some classrooms of some kind. And it attracted a lot of money. 2 million was allocated. Ask me how much was allocated to my ward by then.
Please, you can share how much was allocated to your ward.
I only captured about two projects, which was the doing of the borehole, drilling of a borehole at section C and the hand pump.
How much was that in total?
The solar powered panel was attracting about 240, and the hand pump was attracting 110. So compare, add up 110 together with 240. That is coming to 350. 350. Compare with how much was allocated to Luan. So that was 2,300,000 just to do that works. So there is no equity. Okay.
In that regard, let me take you back. Earlier on, there was a councillor that came through. He said, are you disagreeing to the fact that he said that money is shared equally? Because you are both councillors, and he said money is shared equally. Are you trying to defend yourself because you haven't done much in your constituency?
No, I don't think so. That councillor maybe lacking of experience would matter, because maybe he had not sat on CDF. How I wish he was sitting on CDF.
Okay.
So if the councillor was saying the money, is shared equally, I don't disagree, because records are there to Mufrema.
Who shares the monies?
Who shares the money is the CDC committee, called Constituency Development Fund Committee.
Okay.
Those are the people that are mandated by the CDF guideline to share and administer the CDF funds.
Because people, word has it on the ground that with what you've explained, word has it on the ground that you are just hiding from that because you haven't done much as expected as of you, as you promised when you're coming. What is your take on that?
I think we can't play hide and no, you can't do that. I think with me, like I've explained, to say I feel I've done much, and I'm meant to be compared. Of course, when I took over office, there were previous councillors that were sitting in the same office that I'm sitting in today.
Yes.
So going by the performance ratings, I think my people out there are there to judge me. The performance ratings. We've done a lot. We've done, we've done. I even forgot telling you about the toilet at the bus station, which is meant the public toilet, which is meant to sustain the community. That toilet has stayed. It should be maybe a good couple of years. It was not worked on.
All right.
But we've done a good job there, yet just to be commissioned, and we are also working on the station itself. We are working on the station. We are going to do a new station at Butondo bus station. So I think, to me, I cannot be there to do everything for the people, because that is not within my powers. How I wish I had powers, how I wish I had resources to please everyone, but it's not within my powers. So what I can do is just to, mostly is to capture the concerns, like I've explained there. I've also done a lot in doing the grading and paving of roads, about 3.5 kilometers in respective of the sections, which was not done. So today, Butondo, when you come to Ufuke, the roads are passable. You quickly move in here with your vehicle. So we still have more projects that we intend to, to work on even after 2026, where we intend as a community to transform Butondo Primary to Ufuke Combined Secondary School. Why do we want to do that? We want to detach it from, rather to, support the word itself, Ufuke, that, it's supported fully.
Our dear listeners, in case you're just tuning in, this is Democracy Today, and we're discussing issues of development in your constituency. And tonight I'm having Councillor Angel, who really is translating and explaining about development in your ward. Is it true on what he's trying to say? Councillor, I love how you're bringing down your projects, how you're saying that this has been done in your community. Maybe to somebody that has just tuned in, maybe highlight on some of the projects that you have done, and what are some of the projects you've never done, because words has it on the ground to say there are certain things that you have not done, and you're hiding in the fact that CDF was not allocated equally. So highlight some of the things that you've done.
Okay. I think in case somebody has just tuned in, let me just quickly do a sample of the projects that we've worked on. In my preamble, I said we've worked on, to start with, Butondo Primary, we've done a solar-powered borehole to sustain and equip the school, and we also worked on the ablution block at the very same school. I think the story of taking containers with water is a story of the past at Butondo Primary. We went further at the Off Institution, which is a government clinic, where we also done a solar-powered also, which is meant to sustain, because that is a mini clinic, to say. There's a maternity wing. So, I used to panic a lot where, from time to time, engage longer to bring water at that institution. But that is the story of the past. We worked on that. So that is commendable. We went further into respective section addressing the water crisis, which we found when we took over office. In Section C today, people are smiling. They're able to draw water from that bowl, clean and safe water for drinking. For that, for own information, we used to survive from Ngolo stream. There's a stream called Ngolo. Well, that's where people used to flock and go. But this is no. At least they have minimized. Why? Because in respective sections, Section F, we've done the hand pump. We've also done the solar power. The Section C, that is Madelo. We've done that. Like you've said, people would argue, others will argue for the sake sake of tending to, they don't like maybe you as a councillor or as the leader who is spearheading, the people who tend to argue development, but there's nothing to argue about. Yeah, so with me is that, I give applause to the New Dawn government, especially President Taka in the HLM.
Okay.
I think he's done much. Mr. President, we appreciate us on behalf of the people of Bufuke. We appreciate because CDF adjustment upwards, we thought maybe it will not work out because when we took over office, we had found it at 1.6 and then upward adjustment at 25 point something million. We reached that level and, development was able to trickle down. Mr. President, we are humbled as a ward and we appreciate. May God continue to bless you.
Looking at your ward, a lot of people have said to say that there's a lot of crime in your area, and how are you combating that?
That's a very good question. Crime is too rampant, especially in my ward where I'm coming from.
Yes.
Crime that relating to theft of service cables.
Yes.
And this is, to my own understanding, this is as a result of the high unemployment levels that in the youth that we are currently facing. So I'm not trying to encourage the youth, despite they are not working, because government is making, is doing its level best to making sure that we improve the living standards of the youth by, there is a component in CDF.
But so far so good. What have you done about the crime levels that have
the crime levels?
The
crime levels. I think what I did was that I called an engagement stakeholder meeting where I called the SPIOs, the Zambia Police Mobile Unit, because where I'm coming from, there's a mobile unit and Zambia Police where we interacted at length with the community. The community had to highlight their concerns in regard to theft of the same service cables, and we came up with solutions where we had to form a neighborhood watch which must be supported by the community. And the only challenge, yes, it is ineffective, but it's not very effective. Why? Because of motivation, because community need to contribute something to motivate the people that will be doing that job in the night.
All right. So I'm looking at one of the things that you've highlighted in your speech. You're saying that you're ensuring that safety of the ward is done, right?
Sure.
And I'm looking at certain things that you've brought across. Someone somewhere there would ask, why is it that money for cash for work is taking so long to come out when it has to become it has to be paid?
Yeah, the money for cash for work is because of the guidelines that have been set in place.
All right.
Bear with me that the beneficiaries out there, because the conditionalities attached to it are that a person should have won an NRC that is Zambian, and then they should have a phone. Meaning that they're supposed to have they're supposed to be on SIM,
okay,
so that they benefit. But it's not every Zambian that, unfortunately, that has they have SIM cards and they have equally phones. So the challenge is coming at play where, because the current the guidelines are stipulating to say, when I will cite an example, Prince,
yes,
what is indicating on your NRC is what should reflect, and the information should tally with what is indicating on the mobile network. So that has always been a challenge.
Okay.
You see, that has been a challenge, and the other people are cut off from benefiting from the CDF, where maybe you happen to be on social cash transfer, some kind.
Yes.
So, but people tend to force themselves, by just virtue of wanting to be captured, they go there, and then further now by council, they have to scrutinize.
All right. Sorry to cut you short.
Sure.
In that regard, a lot of people are saying people are really working and then they're not paid. How have you really mitigated that issue?
I think with me, I'll be very frank and commend council who are working so tirelessly to sort out that issue. I think there can be complaints in Bufuke Ward, but they are just quite too minimal, maybe 3 or 4.
Minimal is enough. Minimal is enough.
Yeah, so
because the person if a person works, they really need to be paid.
To be paid,
even one
yes.
person, if they work, they are not paid. They will
right.
come and complain to you.
You are right. You
Yes.
are right. But many other issues that have come to my office with complaint, and they have handled and dealt with them. That's why I'm commending council to say they are working tirelessly.
Are you accountable to the viewers that everyone that worked for in regards of cash for work has been paid?
I think to me, in my word, everyone has been
paid.
Yeah, everyone has been paid, unless otherwise.
All right.
Sure.
Let's move on to the next question. I feel CDF has components on how they distribute money. I'm looking at the loans and the grants that have been. Let's start with the loans. How many people received loans in your community?
I think to begin with, the issue of loans was quite scary to begin with, because because of the conditionalities that they were attached, especially that is money that is meant to be paid back.
All right.
Yeah. So first of all, I called a sensitization meeting, an engagement meeting with the community, and I made the emphasis to say, when you feel you are not capable to repay the money, please don't have plans to apply for the loans. Why? Because I'm looking into the safety aspect of the people that I'm representing.
Right.
So mainly I targeted the businessmen within the locality. I mean within the ward. So to answer your question in precise, I think we have had about 15 beneficiaries who had benefited
from loans.
Yeah,
not grants, loans.
Not grants, but loans.
So my question is, have they started paying back? Because I believe they have to pay back, and you have to give another person, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
so
a
how many have paid back?
I think that information is with council. On regard, because I might cheat to the public to say the others are paying, others are not paying. So it's an issue that council had further advanced to engage people, those that are not paying. Have been called to council through the legal department, so that they've been informed about the legal implications that are attached
to it. You and I had earlier on where the discussion where I was telling you that there are people in your ward that got grant money. They got grant money and they just shared that money. What is your take on that? Because I believe when they were getting the money, they wanted to really start up businesses and all that. What is your take on that?
I think to begin with, the idea of empowering people is a welcome move, especially in regard to grants. But sometimes you're right, money is ending up running into wrong hands, which is sad to me as a leader. When I was sitting on CDF committee, we did monitoring of the same people, the groupings that we had empowered.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the response that we are finding, others were doing fine. Quite minimal of them. I will do a sample of the people that we had empowered in 2022, which were about 12 groupings.
Of course.
We only found about 8 groupings that were doing fine. These were giving a lame excuse. Others were even telling us to say, no, we resorted in sharing the money because the money was minimal, which is not supported by the guideline. My appeal to the people out there is that take this empowerment seriously, because this money is meant for you, and the president means well for the country. So we just need to support the whole idea of the project. How do we do it? We need to cooperate. We need to learn to work together. Unlike we tend to divide. Why the same issue of grants is failing is people coming from different. When you are a cooperative, you're coming from different background, political backgrounds. Others are coming from political party A, and others B. So others would want to see the whole thing, or rather the issue, to fail within just the cooperative. But people need just to cooperate. We need just to understand that we are one Zambia and we are one nation. And time for politics should be time for politics.
Okay, let me narrow it down to your ward.
Sure.
It really happened. Let me trickle it to your ward. It really happened in your ward that people were sharing that money. As the councillor, as the sitting councillor, what did you do about it?
I think what I did was, after we had done the monitoring of the funds, and then those that the cooperative that I saw that were not faring well, I went back to the community and called the groupings that were affected, and appreciated the challenges that the same cooperatives were facing. And I think, talking of the way forward, I think we've made improvements, and people have learned from that, and so far so good. The cooperatives are doing fine.
In case you've just tuned in, this is Democracy Today, and we're discussing matters of national development. And transparency and accountability. Are you really accountable for every loan that you gave out to say people have started now sharing? Are you accountable that profit has started coming back?
I think we are accountable in the manner that I will rather respond on behalf of council.
Okay.
That the people that are privy to the information in regard to the repayments of the loans that people had gotten is the Department of Finance at council. They are the people that can give us a clear update on how we are faring in regard to repayment of loans. But I feel so far so good. I haven't received a complaint because the council could through these meetings that we have through committee meetings, the committee meetings. I think the reports do come from the engineering department as well as finance department.
You know what is not sitting with me well is the fact that when I refer a question to you, you're saying council, and you have access to such information as a councillor, don't you? You have, right?
Yes.
Because I need you to have things to say, okay, with this and this and this, I have this information. But from what I'm hearing, you're saying you don't have much information. When you have access to that, why should people really have, in regards of voting for you next year, why should people have a confidence in you to say they should vote for you when you're not giving precise information?
I think why I say so, issues to do with finances are just quite too sensitive. Okay. Like I told you, to say we've got a department which is called the finance department as council. Right. Those are the people that because bear with me, Prince.
Yes.
You cannot tell me to say I will be updated today to say how many people are going to pay back their loans, within the course of this month. No, because like I told you to say, we only receive that information when we have committee meetings, and it comes in different kind of committees where the directors will come and avail the report to say, oh, we are not faring well in regard to the repayment of loan. They will give you the status quo in Bufukawa to say the following groupings that had gotten the loans,
okay,
they have not paid back. The confidence of people voting me back as people have seen what I've done so far so good, and I'm always available for the people. I've always been in good and bad times. I'm always there. Availability is what makes me to be a very good leader, and that is the more reason why I should even bounce back to continue serving the people with
so from today as we are speaking to next year, 3rd of August 2026, what are some of the projects that you are embarking on right now from today to 2026? Even before that, what are some of the projects that you are going to do that you have aligned?
I think we have aligned quite many.
Okay, make mention of them.
Let me just cite, I don't like to say hi, because in government there's only we.
Okay.
You don't work alone.
Okay.
I don't work alone. We work collectively. Okay. So we've done the projects that are in pipeline is we need to work, like I mentioned in my preamble, that we need to do a transformation of Utondo Primary to Bufuke Combined School, secondary school. Why do we want to do that? We know, the youth are the future leaders of tomorrow.
Of course.
So we need to work out, we need our children to be educated in the community so that they can be good leaders, like I am able to represent the people today. Because why? The reason is very simple. I went to school, and today I'm able to represent the people ably there. So we are going to work on we've done the paving. I'm not comfortable with the paving. Dust.
Okay. All right.
The dust, the dust that is coming. We need to do the tires of roads. Of course, these are the projects that are supposed to be supported by CDF funding. So should we bounce back, 2026, those are the projects that we need to embark on. And those, to address the issue of crime, we need to lit up the area. So meaning that we need to put street lights all over under CDF funding.
I was ready to
sure. So you see, we've just quite too many that we want to come and work on. We need to, replenish our houses. When did we last, paint the houses? How I wish maybe my plan was if we can have, community project. We say we are going to paint the houses. The whole lot of Ufuke, we paint it. It looks nice. That's my picture. Those are the projects that we need to come and work on in future.
Do you think all voted personnel, like the mayoral part, the councillor, should have more terms other than 2 terms?
the mayor and the councillor to have more than 2 terms. I think, to me, what matters is, in a democratic dispensation, what matters is the relation, how you relate, how you connect yourself. If I mean well for the people can still have me in office maybe for several terms. Okay, so even if the mayor is doing his level best, say my councillor have done my level best, it's entirely up to the people to vote me out or to vote me in again. You see, so the people are the determinant to determine. So with me, my hope is, I can always be there for the people because I've got that passion to work for the people. Yeah, but again, age will limit. As I age, I think I will be distant.
What's your age limit?
I think with me, looking at the nature that is in there for the councillor, the age limit should be 60. To me. That's
because
what
I really asked you that question in regards, because when a person overstays, they know how to manipulate the system.
Okay.
I'm talking about the system. So in regards to that, do you think that has really affected a lot of constituencies and wards in regards of overstaying?
Like I've answered you to say, what matters is how one relates, a leader relates with the community, the confidence that the community has in that leader. If you tend to get biased along the way, you tend to champion the system. People will distinguish. They will definitely know to say, no, Councillor Angel, how come today is, maneuvering in this manner? Why? Maybe, is he taking advantage because he has been long in the system? The people to determine now it's the people to determine to vote me out of office, because this is a public office that we're holding at the end of the day.
All right. I love it that you've ended on the note on saying these are public offices.
Yes, sure.
How accountable are you in terms of corruption levels?
I'm a very transparent person. I think how transparent am I is that we call engagement meetings. Even when we are doing recruitment, the cash for work, we normally engage people to say, can you come on board, or there is this that is happening. Even I tend to support the people that had either complained from my word, the current selection criteria of the grant allocation funds by the CDFC committee, where people were not subjected for interviews, and then there was a short list of some kind, and then the others were left. But I just need to give hope to the people that the matter has been. I escalated the matter before the town.
Let's dwell a little bit on that matter,
because
that on its own didn't sit with me very well when I really heard about it. It didn't sit with me, because how then is the selection done? Are you there or are you not there? Because you are the personnel that is heading that department, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And how? Let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, like I was telling you to say, the CDFC committee, most of the powers, we only have, as councillors, we only have 2 councillors that represents us there.
All right.
Yeah. So they are elected.
Okay.
Like I sampled to say Kankoyo, we have 9 wards. So we elect 2 councillors to sit on the CDF committee. So if they don't voice out, it's maybe to the advantage or to the disadvantage. Like in my case, you have asked me, I don't sit on the CDF. I no longer sit on the CDF committee.
Okay, the time
meaning
that
that when the decision, by the time I was sitting, I was able to represent my colleagues ably, where I could get submission from the area councillors and the WDCs in respective of the wards, so that they are represented ably. Now, that maybe has not been the case today. I must be sincere with you. When we do send the submission to colleagues that are representing us, maybe there's misrepresentation. I will put it that way. That is the more reason why, it happened maybe in that manner. But going by what I know is, when I was sitting on the CDF committee, ours was that in regard to transparency, we called people for interviews.
Okay.
We called people, even though that is not enshrined in the guidance, but for the sake of transparency and accountability, we are to engage our colleagues from different kind of departments, and also anti-corruption were there in the chambers, to making sure that people are interviewed, and at the end of the day, those people that were answering accordingly, going by the submission of their business plans that they had submitted, that is under grants. We gave out and no one complained. So when people complain, it's genuine. We have to pay attention.
Yes,
there should be a system.
Yes.
There should be benchmarks, especially on the selection criteria, because I don't just pick names. Imagine, Prince, where you cite an example of the skills. You apply and then you just happen to pick at random to say we are picking Prince. That is not only that is not there is no justice there. There is no justification.
No.
We have to follow the benchmarks. So I therefore engage again. I'm appealing to the CDFC committee, Kankoyo, to make sure that in future let's follow the benchmarks and let's be transparent so that our people cannot be complaining. And also they should work, I think, on the backlog. Because people have complained. So why are we going to...
So can you say that you councillors are not transparent?
We are, like I've told you.
Looking at the issue at hand, right?
We are transparent. But what is detaching us? What is detaching and attaching us is that, like I told you to say, I don't have a privilege to sit on the CDF committee.
All right, let me not talk about. Let's not dwell so much on this on the CDF committee.
Sure.
I really want to talk about what are the repercussions of a councillor that is not transparent, because these issues are in your ward, and people are complaining to say, look, we're not getting paid after we work. Our names are removed. What are the repercussions, and what are you doing to WDCs and also councillors that are not transparent?
I think the repercussions of for the councillor is that the name will be ruined. But what have we done as a Bufuke ward? Yes. So, like, to me, what I did was those people that were left out, especially in regard to the grants, I had to call for an harmonization meeting to harmonize the situation. Where, I had to talk to the people, engage them to say, okay, fine, in as much as today you are not picked, maybe I also tend to side with them because the selection criteria, of course. So the repercussions and the consequences, again, going by the WDC, we called a stakeholders meeting where we said, okay, I think as a ward we will take a stance where we do a short list of some kind just by ourselves to say, okay, fine, why can't we conduct a mean interview before we do a submission, and further maybe do a recommendation as an overseer to say, I recommend that these cooperatives be funded because we are sat with minutes supported or rather attached.
Okay, this is Democracy Today, and with me I have Councillor Angel, who's helping me answer these certain questions. There is a concern when it comes to issues of how you select these grants and loans from disabled people due to better of a term, disabled people. Do you have any person or with disability that is sitting on the selection board, or has any grant been given to